my name's Artemis, and there's just so many lovely, wonderful things in this fandom and this online space that we can all enjoy and use to enrich our enjoyment of our enjoyment. And because we can't have anything nice, I guess, there's also a shitty side to all of those things as well that kind of inhibits your ability to actually enjoy them. And well, there's a lot of these things that I've just sort of never been a part of, I guess, never really chased, even though perhaps I could have found some good stuff in there, and there's a lot of reasons why I didn't bother, and just general things and ways to be that maybe it's the reason why it's not good being those things. So, yeah, that's what I thought I'd bitch and moan about this week. I will just preface all of this by saying this is all subjective to my experience with these things, and just because I don't like specific aspects or I have things to say about it doesn't mean that they are inherently bad and that everybody should feel the same way. So, if you decide to get butthurt in the comments, I said this and now you're not allowed to. And even if you do, I'm not gonna fucking care anyway. So, let's dig in and see what I've got to say this week. So the first thing that I've seen that has become a very big fucking deal these days that a lot of people get a lot of enjoyment from, so I shouldn't shit all over it too much, is VRChat, which is, yeah, it looks pretty fucking cool. It looks like a good time generally if you find the right group of people, the right server, the right whatever, but goddamn if there isn't an awful lot of shit on there that I'm surprised people can even just put up with. Now, I get that with any online space where you socialize and enjoy yourself, there's going to be a level of, you know, asshole to it where they come along and just ruin your fun, but the sheer amount of people clipping stuff for TikTok just makes me feel like, how do you even let anybody apart from your friends in? And it's good that you can sort of be remote and still socialize and whatnot, but, I mean, let's be real. There is a level of delusion on these sorts of things that I feel like people are starting to talk about more, and that's a good thing, because this whole I have phantom sense thing is going far too fucking far, okay? Like, I don't know if you know what exactly phantom sense is. You should look into it, because it's a thing that people who have had amputations deal with and is a very real thing. Attributing that to wearing a fucking headset and feeling like that famous clip of she's allergic to tomatoes, so you can't throw them. Shut the fuck up, okay? You are everything that people hate. And you have a lot of growing up to do, and that's your journey, and that's your path, and all of that shit. But this ain't the digital fucking circus, okay? You didn't put a headset on, and now everything is fucking real, and you can't take it off. If it was really that bad, you'd take the fucking thing off. And that's honestly the reason why I could just never vibe with this shit. Because there are people that I dealt with when I came into the fandom that are still very early in their journey that I don't deal with anymore, thankfully, because I've done my time. I've moved on from my ability to be nice about that sort of thing, and I'm not gonna fucking try anymore, and this place kinda seems to be full of it. Also, 3D rigs are beyond me, and so is the whole VR setup. And I'm poor! So, yeah, but there's also that aspect to it. Now, this trend of public fursuiting has been going on since, well, fursuits were a thing that existed, and I fully fucking support it, in honesty. You know, I got to a point with my fursuit where I was wondering why the fuck I was living in such a picturesque place with all these photo spots and not actually taking advantage of that. So I went out and took advantage of that, and it was great, it was wonderful. But the kind of public suiting I'm talking about is the kind where you put a fursuit on and you walk outside into, like, you know, a Walmart or a city, or just randomly out and about, and just... Okay, great. Wonderful. You're going to Home Depot and you needed to be a dog for that. Why? And it just kind of gets to this point of, I don't understand what you're trying to get from it. And, you know, it's all up to you. You do what you want to do. But it was something I'm glad I never fell into. The first fur meets I used to go to, which were, you know, they were pretty good. They were just at this little, like, cafe on a Friday night. And there was always one person who turned up in suit whenever they turned up. And, like, they turned up in suit. They left their house in suit. And it turns out there was some issues with anxiety that went along with that, so it was a good coping mechanism. Before I understood that, I was very much in the camp of, like, you're just walking around like that? Is that safe? Like, we were meeting in a city that's not exactly notoriously safe. And we've seen people have their suits damaged, stolen, even just being full-on assaulted in the street just for being a furry. And it just kind of makes me wonder, like, why don't you just go to a national park? Why don't you just go to somewhere pretty? You know, I see a lot of people doing road trips to, like, national parks, mountain ranges, the woods, that sort of thing. That's fucking great. That's great. Go to the beach, enjoy yourself. But why the fuck are we seeing people just going shopping? Just, oh, I'm going to the bodega. I'm going to the corner store. I'm going to IHOP. Raising Cane's. Go somewhere that actually has good food. Jesus. I I'm glad that I sort of dodged that. I understand that a lot of people don't have the outlet to use their suit as much as they'd like, and sometimes the urge to fursuit is overwhelming and you have to give into it. But fuck me, I just do not see the appeal of just walking around random people and thinking, oh well, we'll just film it, that'll do it, we'll pretend it's content. Look, I'm patting some random shit in a Walmart. Glory to me. I feel like everybody goes through a period of just being terminally online and just hyper aware of every single issue that's happening around the world and having an opinion about it. And I feel like most of those people, or at least some, tend to find out that that's actually what's ruining their life, their peace, and their mental health. Or at least that's what I did, because I went through a period where every single situation that happened demanded a response from me. I had to have an opinion and a view, and most importantly, I had to make sure everybody knew that. And it was fucking horrific. It was awful. I hated it because it made me miserable, because the world is an awful place if you look at it as we do now. Social media gives you access to the levels of knowledge that you just didn't have way back when. Your world is now the world rather than the actual part of it in which you live. So yeah, you can see atrocities from all over the world and feel like that's your responsibility and problem to fix. It fucking ain't. And I'm not saying let's turn a blind eye. Of course I'm not. I'm not saying that these issues don't deserve attention. I'm just saying that let's be fucking real about it. The people that shout and scream about all of this stuff, it's performative. They don't really seem to do anything that actually furthers their cause. They don't seem to actually do anything that aligns with what they truly believe. They just want people to know that they have this opinion and this is what they think. They have that spotlight syndrome, as if they're being judged by someone and that they need to make sure they say the right things. And yeah, I lived that way for a while, and I'm glad I fucking avoided it going forward. Especially with some of the things that have happened in my life that would have been irreparably damaged if I hadn't. Sometimes learning to shut the fuck up really is the best course of action. I suppose the final point that I am really glad that I've sort of avoided and that kind of ruins everything is living your life too loudly. I like people that sort of know the balance of giving these intimate details away and shutting the fuck up. We've all seen far too many people that basically treat social media as a diary. Every single thought that goes through their head has to also go through Twitter and Snapchat and Blue Sky and Instagram stories. And oh shit, they do YouTube shorts. We can put it on that too. And oh, TikTok, we better put it on TikTok. I don't need to know all that about some random stranger, but more importantly, you don't need to be putting that privileged information online for free. It's funny to me when I see people like, oh my god, X is going to start reading our messages. Oh my god, all of this privacy stuff, they're spying on us. Bitch, what do they need to spy on? You put it all out there for free. They don't need to hack nothing. They just need to open their eyes. Either they're looking to get all of this information on you, or they're not. You seem to be living in both worlds. And it just sort of... I get it, people are lonely, people want to express themselves, but I don't feel like it's a healthy thing to keep putting all that information out there. I just don't. I put out whatever I decide to put out, and sometimes I feel like, oh, I should be tweeting more, but I'm like, but why? Why do I need to go and put personal information on the internet for other strangers to scroll on past as they're looking for more porn? I'm glad that I sort of got out of this, and I feel everybody gets to a point where they do, especially when, they create art, they do something that, is more like a business. They learn to sort of treat it more as a business, and especially at the moment where, there's the potential that the words that you said could be very much used against you. I feel like maybe it's time to step back and feel like maybe I should be saying these things to closer people. Maybe I should be limiting just exactly how much I vent on social media and actually talking to people and having a human connection, because it seems like when you stop trying to get that dopamine fix from social media, you start putting it into your actual relationships, and then you start to feel a bit better. But maybe that's just me. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully it made some sort of sense. Did you agree? Are these sort of things the things that you also don't vibe with, you don't do because of the same stuff, or is this just something that you are like, why the fuck are you upset about that? I don't know. These are just stuff that I was looking at that seemed to be like the flavors of the month these days in the fandom, and was like, well, I can see why people would want to get on board with some of this stuff, but also, do we not see their shit? Because it's there. But, yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's all well and good. I'm not looking to yuck anyone else's yum. I'm not looking to say that you're bad for liking these things. I just... This is why I don't, I guess. This is the shitty side of it that kind of overrules it for me that I can't quite ignore. So there we go. But thank you for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy this video. And if you did and you're looking at this like, wow, he had his paws up the entire time, but what do his feet look like? Bitch, we got you covered. You can check that shit out because I am what? Shameless. Yeah. So yeah, check the link tree, have a little look, and maybe throw some money my way. Who knows? And if you want to throw some money my way, there's also other ways you can do that, like the Patreon, where you get access to exclusive videos every week. You get access to exclusive me, like I actually talk and stuff, and a lot more than I am on social media lately, because I haven't really got shit to say publicly. But yeah, there's that, and then, you know, there's also the Discord server, where I'm trying to be more, you know, active and getting into voice chats, but damn, there's some heavy stuff happening in life right now that's kind of taking all my attention. But I'll tell you about that when it's past. And it would just be lovely because it helps us pay our bills, and that's always a good thing. So yeah, maybe have a little look at that and support me and keep me making these videos of things that I can shout and moan about. So yeah, wonderful. And you get to see feet. Wonderful. But that's about it for this video. Yeah, we're going to end it now. That means the video's done. That means you can stop watching now. Look, the graphics run out. Right? It's only timed. It's not there anymore. I don't even have a nice fucking transition for it. It's just gone. Why the fuck are you still watching? I don't even know why I'm still filming. We can just fucking stop this shit. Oh, right, yeah, I can't hit the fucking button with this. Let me just... Hang on. Oh my fucking god. Jesus Christ. Is it off? Good, okay. Ugh, what are we doing the rest of the time? It's still fucking on!